Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm doing a rapid-fire review of La Pâtisserie Rococo from Eagle Gryphon Games. Rapid-fire reviews are a format on the channel where I attempt to give you a brief overview of the game, how it plays, all of that, as well as my thoughts and opinions in 10 minutes or less. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. La Pâtisserie Rococo is a shorter, more accessible version of Rococo. Shorter with an asterisk, we'll come back to that. But the general idea of the game is across 4 rounds of play, you're going to be building up your hand of cards. You're going to start with 4 cards, we'll get back to how this works soon. You're going to be building up those cards, trying to remove cards where it's helpful, adding cards that help your engine, and then ultimately trying to acquire ingredients, put together recipes, and then sell or display those recipes in order to get as many points as possible. That's the general idea. In each round, you're going to go through 4 phases. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to refill recipes over here, the ingredients, as well as the recipes up here. From there, you'll be selecting your staff and adding new staff cards to your deck. You're going to start with 4 cards, which will be all the cards you take at first, because in the beginning of the game, you basically can select 4 cards from your 4 cards. As you add more cards, you can select any of those cards. This is not like a deck building game where you just take the top 4 cards. You can select from anything available that hasn't been used yet, but then it is a little deck building in the sense that once you use them, they have to kind of filter the way back before you can select them again. So you're going to select 4 cards, but then you're going to be drafting new cards using these 2 card trays over here. You're going to take cards from the deck, putting them on the card trays, and passing those trays left and right, with the remaining cards that are not taken going to a public display where you can hire them as well. So in other words, you have the cards you're drawing, the cards you're selecting, and then the possibility to hire more staff as well that enter the board over here. Then you get to the main phase of the game, which is going to be the action phase, where players are going to be taking actions to do a variety of things. I won't be going into all of these, this is a brief overview, but there are 9 actions you can take. Some of the main actions you can take are gathering ingredients, you can gather recipes, you can go ahead and bake the recipes, paying the ingredients on them, and then baking them. You can decorate recipes using ingredients over here. You can decorate them, putting them on top if you have those ingredients already. You can hire new staff. You can sell or present those recipes. You can achieve various bonus goals over here. There's going to be a variety of bonus goals. So there's a variety of things you're doing utilizing the cards as your core driver. I didn't really show you how those work over here, but basically on these cards, you're going to have, cards have a type of action they can take depending on the type of card they have. They have some restrictions, but then after taking those actions, you can also take the bonus actions and or the bonus, whatever the bonus in this box over here is. And again, these will get better as you work your way through these decks. I have them sorted over here, but you have your 1s, then your 2s, then your 3s, and your 4s. You will be adding more and more cards that get more advanced as you go, giving you better and better bonus actions in those boxes to be able to let you do more and more as you continue to build your deck and as you progress through the 4 rounds of the game. That's the kind of very high-level overview of what's happening. You're going to be basically gathering various ingredients and recipes, putting together those ingredients and recipes, and selling and presenting what you do, with everything else being in the details of the cards, the extra actions, as you attempt to acquire as many points as possible in La Pâtisserie Rococo. Which brings me to my rapid-fire review, starting off with the usual question, am I keeping it? I am not. Why or why not? Well, the main reason is I have played Rococo, the game that this is based on, and for me at least, almost everything this does feels like it's Rococo, but with a theme that I find less appealing. Nothing wrong with baking themes, honestly. I do like baking and food themes and kind of order fulfillment, contract fulfillment, which this is to a degree. But ultimately, I think that Rococo felt very unique in terms of the theme it presents. There's not a lot of games that focus on fashions and dresses and all those kinds of things, and Rococo I felt was a more charming theme with better artwork and presentation. And for the most part, most of what the game does differently, I didn't find necessarily to be a better or an improvement version, an improvement over Rococo. The one thing I did specifically find to be an improvement is the card selection. The drafting over here, there's a little bit more opportunities for deck building, which granted is a primary mechanic of the game. That is one thing La Pâtisserie Rococo did do better than Rococo. I almost wish Rococo had a module to add that, although Rococo I think does have expansions that I haven't played, so I don't know if those do add things there. But overall, for the most part, I felt this wasn't necessarily better. I also didn't necessarily feel that, like, one of the things, there's a few, well, you know, we'll get more into counter opinions. We'll get more into these things soon. But overall, for me, I just felt nothing this game does is wrong. I just feel Rococo is the better experience overall. Which brings me to my other game recommendations, which the first one obviously will be Rococo. If you like what this game is doing, I think Rococo does most of this better with that one asterisk over there around the deck building. But outside of that, if you want a different game, not in this line, definitely check out Critter Kitchen if you are looking for, again, a contract fulfillment, recipe, gathering ingredients, very different gameplay aspects to it, but if you are looking for that as a theme, I think Critter Kitchen delivers an excellent gameplay experience for that theme. As far as a counter opinion, why might this game be for you? Should you get it? All those other things. First of all, the mechanics of the game all work well. At the end of the day, this is a solid game of gathering ingredients, fulfilling contracts, fulfilling those recipes. The action selection gives you a lot to try to think about as far as what you're trying to take off the table before others get to it. The card building in general in both Rococo and La Pâtisserie Rococo are both phenomenal as far as the sense of agency over building your deck and then even selecting the cards without having to rely on the pure luck of when things come out. Overall, I think this does deliver a solid experience. Some of the potential benefits over Rococo are going to be the price point. This is a cheaper game than Rococo, so if that's one of the concerns, that's a factor. This is supposedly a shorter game than Rococo. This one gets a bit of an asterisk for me because it didn't necessarily feel shorter. I think it's supposed to be shorter. It has been a while since I played Rococo last. I want to say at least a year, so I don't have an exact apples to apples comparison. I would say neither game felt like they were particularly short. This might be marginally shorter, but it didn't specifically feel like it. But again, your mileage may vary, so that's another thing over there. But overall, this is also in theme. I prefer the theme of Rococo, but if you prefer the theme over here, I don't think this is a significantly worse game. It's more that I don't think it's a significantly better game, and I just think that I prefer to play Rococo over this. As far as final thoughts on La Pâtisserie Rococo, overall, this is a fine game. It does everything it's supposed to do. I think that if you are coming at this as a fan of Rococo, you might be interested in both. Like, if you're a huge fan of Rococo, this does deliver a lot of similarities to the experience, and so you might be interested in the minutiae as far as which one feels different or better for you. If you're coming at this having not played either game, I think that, again, I'd probably recommend Rococo, but if you're specifically drawn to either the price point or the theme of this one, definitely check this one out. For me, the biggest critique I have around it is that I've played Rococo, and I think Rococo is a better experience, but this does check all the boxes. Rating-wise, I'm going to come in at a 3.5 out of 5. Everything this game does works. It's a fun experience. I just think Rococo is the better experience, at least for me. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you found this review helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.